So, trying out a new bike, electric bike, instead of an electric scooter. And obviously, with all these things, you get teething problems, as I mentioned on my other channel, partly because they lie about the speed and stuff, which I didn't mind because I wanted what I got. However, they are light and they are different to get used to, and riding each scooter is different, and riding a scooter and riding an electric bike is different, and riding an electric bike and a proper electric bike is very different. So, they're all very, very different. So if you imagine when you go from one car to another, but even more unfamiliar, it's kind of like that. So obviously I had my first thing the other day where I tore my skin off. Today, and exactly now, bear in mind, because I've got this neurological disease, I can fall over and get straight back up. Nobody really knows exactly why. Um, and it's not necessarily a good thing. Just because I don't feel it as bad as other people, and just because I don't break as easy, it doesn't mean damage isn't being done, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to end up paying for it at some point. But it does enable me to bounce back up, which is handy. It's been handy many a time, especially when people don't expect it. And today I got to exactly, when I say exactly, no exaggeration, exactly the same spot within half a metre as where I was the last time I came off. Same road, everything. And for some reason, there's a car come along, and this hedge, the car was real low, sports car, and this little hedge managed to hide the car. It shouldn't have been possible, so I didn't see the car, came out the other side, hit the brakes. It's a new bike, don't know the brake thresholds, go over the handlebars, and I'm already aware what's happening. Because like I say, I've fallen over, I've done stunts for a living, so I know how to fall over. So I'm seeing this happen in slow motion. I'm thinking, right, what are my options? Can't release the brakes. I am now, as I'm in midair, I'm thinking, you are trusting this driver now to hit those brakes of their own, because I can only do what I can do, but my momentum is still shifting me forward. So if this driver doesn't hit their brakes, I'm about to have my legs broken, spun behind me, and I'm going to spin over the top of the car. So at that moment of just leaving my bike, I was thinking, please hit your brakes, because the one thing I don't have control of here is your car. Thank fuck her reactions were just that. And not only did she hit the brakes, she hit them. It's like she mind read. She didn't just hit them and then leave me with nothing to fall on. She hit them exactly the right time so that I went over the handlebars, controlled the bike with my legs, and with my hands pushed off of her car with a flat hand like that. So there was no dent in the car, and so there was no scratch, and so I sort of absorbed it through my elbows and my arms, and then pushed it back off, so that her car wasn't being hit. And so all my joints are absorbing the weight of going into the car. And then once they had absorbed it, I pushed myself away from the car again, so I can't do any damage. And that sent me back on the road, but I did it just the right pace where I wasn't slamming on the road hard. So they were really cool. They were making sure I was okay and everything else. But I was a bit annoyed with myself, and I just said, uh, I've done this here before. I should have had my brakes ready, and I should have. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. I apologise. Blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm sorry about your car. And they were like, no, you. I don't know how. They were like, you were worried about my car. I was worried about you. But I was worried about their car because I knew it was my fault from the second it happened. And so I always walk away from these things, and then once the adrenaline's worn away, you get a few aches and a few pains. But I'm all right because I've got this muscle wasting disease or whatever. It hides a lot of it. I've got to say, I fucking hit my same palm again. You expect that, and you might even expect it to be bruised or sore, but I can't move much. Bear in mind, after it happened, I walked off fine, rode my bike fine, was around my mum's for a little while fine, started falling asleep, which was a bit of a concern, so I decided to come home. And not until I got home and went to lift something up did my arm start to feel like it was frozen up. So now I feel like I can't straighten my arm properly. If I do, I've got to do it really slowly. And from that part of my hand there, all the way down to my elbow. There's this pain. If I try and stress, pull, do anything with it, and even if I just hang it there at times. So I don't think it's a fracture or anything, but it goes literally from my palm to my elbow, and it really fucking hurts. And before you think I'm a wimp or whatever, which I probably am, bear in mind I've got the benefit of having the muscle wasting disease, which with the nerve damage means I don't feel all the pain, I don't feel all the knocks. I'm lucky in that way. No, it's not lucky because you don't feel the damage you're doing, but I'm lucky in as much as I can bounce, get up, where other people are rolling around on the floor, or they've broken their arm or whatever. That doesn't happen to me. But I will say, when something like this does happen, it's probably going to be more serious because things like this don't happen. And the other thing as well is just, when I think about it, I took exactly the same shock in the same arm, the same area, the same place, the same pressure, everything. The only thing different was that I was covering my hand, so the hand couldn't get cut. So in a way, it's no wonder. But I'm telling you, if you're thinking about buying these for kids, get a fucking British made one, or get one that the actual speed. Do not get your kids one of these things and not ride it yourself first. And if you're too scared to ride it, don't put your fucking kids on it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know that these bikes are great for adults as long as you're prepared to take a few knocks and bumps. But today I could have died. That's the closest I've come to, I'll be honest, since I got these scooters, and that's the closest I've come. That was a head-on collision today. That was a head-on collision. And there's only one winner in that. I was purely lucky that they saw me and blah, blah, blah. But just another couple of seconds and nobody would have sped up, slowed down, and that would have been an absolute fucking disaster. And like I say, I'm someone who's been on the road, who's used to the road, who can navigate the road, and has this ability to do stunts. So imagine someone who's got none of that being in the same position, which they could easily have been, because anybody could have been in the position I was in today. If you're getting any of these things for your kids, make sure they do the speed they say they would do, and not twice as much or more, because they are flesh manglers. Trust me on that. And you all deserve to know this. You all deserve to know this, because like I say, they can be a brilliant bit of kit, but with all the lies that have been told about them by the people selling them, it's going to give them a bad name. It's going to get them over-regulated. That's going to be the big fucking problem. But for the time being, I would say adults only. Not adults only. There are scooters that do exactly 15.5 miles an hour, and they are little ones. But the big ones, as soon as they start getting near 30 miles an hour and stuff like that, they ain't for kids. You think about it, as I said the other day, 6-inch, 7-inch wheels, and you go in an 8-inch pothole, what happens? It's not going to be pretty. And it's exactly why I bought my bike with 14-inch wheels, because, there's so many hazards. You don't realise it. Even no matter how fast you're going, there's so many hazards for a 6 and 7-inch wheel that, especially in a place like where I live, it's like asking for death. So I had a head-on collision today with a car, and the only thing that made it non-deadly was the speed that it happened at, and the foresight of both of us. So just bear that in mind. That's me, someone who's got experience, someone who knows what he's doing, and all your accidents on these things are going to come when you first get them. Like, I've just got this one, look what's happening. You don't want to put kids in a situation where they've got to learn the same way, because it's alright if you're learning from a push bike, but when you're learning from something that is basically electric moped, it's going to fuck you up. So just letting you know, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm just giving them fair warnings so that they know what's out there and what it does. Anyway, bless you.